What's going on, guys? Sergeant Galaxy, aka Sergeant Galaxia, back with the final deck profile of the Blue Eyes Maiden structure deck things, randomness. Let's get into it. First, 3 Blue Eyes, obviously. 1 Dark Storm Dragon, another target for trade-in, and it's basically your heavy storm of the deck, which makes it pretty easy. You can run Wingbeat, but this card also allows you to have a big-ass guy in and more trade-in stuff. The main girl in the deck, Maiden with the Eyes of Blue, she is basically the only way you get Blue Eyes out, with a lot of targeting cards, which I'll mention after. Still 3 Whitestone of Legend. That hasn't really changed. It's still good to dip that with Cards of Consonance, or to have it as a generic tuner for your Blue Eyes and such like that. Obviously, the one Honest, because everything's light in this deck, basically, besides Darkstorm. 3 Shining Angel. This is basically how you get your Maiden out as quickly as possible, or if you want to get Honest on field, you can basically bounce it back to your hand later on. And 3 Bright Star Dragon. The thing with Bright Star Dragon is when it's normal summon, you can target one face-up monster in the field. So generally what you want to do is you want to go into Bright Star Dragon and then target Maiden to get the Blue Eyes out, and then since she would be a level 3 to level 8 makes 11, and you make Star Eaters, so it's a really good play. So onto the spells. We run 3 Silver's Cry. I think Silver's Cry is way too good not to have at 3. I mean, some people I've seen play 2, which is understandable, but I personally like the 3 because you can use them a lot in end phases, and you can use them a lot frequently if you want to save your Call to Haunteds for something else. 3 Cards of Consonance, 3 Trade-in. I'm thinking about dropping probably one of these Cards of Consonance, probably to 2, but I like him at 3. 3 Trade-in, obviously, because you're running 4 level 8s. 2 MSTs, because this deck kind of suffers from back row hate, which a lot of rogue decks like this normally do. But I also run 3 Forbidden Lance as well. This basically opens up protection for your Blue Eyes, which is still going to be 2200, which is kind of big. Also, you can crash into stuff, and it's another target for Maiden, which is never bad. Same thing goes with Forbidden Chalice. This is also my effect negation as well. And if someone was trying to run over my Blue Eyes, if they had something higher than 3000, you can also make Blue Eyes 3400 and have him still be big. And my kind of one tech in this is the Burst Stream Destruction. I like Burst Stream. A lot of people would either want to put this in as a Dark Hole or a Lightning Vortex, but think of it this way. Right, so normally for a deck like this, it spams out a lot of creatures at once. So with Dark Hole, obviously you wouldn't want to Dark Hole your own monsters, and you're kind of just having a card sitting in your hand where you could want to do something. With Burst Stream, obviously the drawback is a Blue Eyes White Dragon can't attack the turn that's activated. However, if you have Maiden on board, you're obviously getting the Blue Eyes out with Maiden. So you would do Maiden either with Bright Star or with one of these targets. You bring out Blue Eyes, you activate Burst Stream, so your Blue Eyes can attack, but you can still Synchro Summon and do a bunch of other stuff. So you basically wipe their whole board, and you're free to poke with a 2500 a beater with Azure Eyes down here. You're able to poke for a good chunk of damage, and Azure Eyes can't be destroyed until their next turn, and you set yourself up. So, which is really good. And onto the traps, I run 2 Call to Haunteds. It basically brings back Maidens or something else that I really need at the moment. It's generally just a good card to have. I like it with Blue Eyes and Darkstorm, Maiden, all that good stuff. And the one of Castle of Dragonskulls, I tried running it at 2 and 3, but I run so many other things that target Maiden. I really don't need to rely on Castle of Dragonskulls as much. And I like basically all I really like it for is the attack gain. And granted, obviously, if I'm banishing stuff, I would want them to pop it. But generally, if I banish too much, I kind of slow my plays down, and then it just becomes a really slow grind game. And when it's late game, when I have like 15 or less cards in the deck, which I've had happen before, I just lose because all my resources are just banished. So that's why I dropped it down to 1. And the 3 of Phoenix Chains. Obviously, this deck lacks a little bit of defense. Not as much if you bring out Azure Eyes, but if you just have like Blue Eyes out on board or a Maiden, you're kind of slowing yourself down. And some of the side deck cards or side deck cards, extra cards that I would use. Some of them I have, some of them I don't, but obviously you want to play triple Azure Eyes, don't play anything less than that. You bring this guy out way too much. He is very good. He basically brings back your Blue Eyes every standby phase, and it's very hard to get rid of that 3,000 ass, so that's a good thing. We got Gaga Cowboy because we run 7 4-stars and just a bunch of other stuff. You guys can look through them if you want. Make your own judgment calls, make your own stuff. But generally, this is what. But a card that you need, which I don't know why I don't have in here, is Thunder End Dragon. It's the level 8 normal Exceed that blows up everything on the field. It's basically like its own dark hole, which saves itself as well. It doesn't blow itself up. It's like GD. So that is the final deck, guys. I don't think I'm going to make any more changes to this. The build is really consistent. It's either, I mean, it either works or it doesn't work, like opening hand. Like if you don't draw in, like the trade-ins are constant, it just kind of... But other than that, it's good. It's a fun deck, don't get me wrong, but I like the Spellcaster Turbo one that I had video previous. So let me know what you guys think of this. Like I said, I like it. Everything targets, everything summons Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is all over the place. And if you wanted to, you could throw a Polymerization, make a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Why the fuck not, right? So that's it for me, guys. Sergeant Galaxy out, and see you, Space Cowboys.